Alright, what's going on, guys? Young46. We're going to play the St. Andrews 500 credit ready to go. We've got heavy winds and I believe champ 13 greens. So tough test, St. Andrews. Heavy winds. Obviously lower winds course is pretty simple, but start throwing in 30-mile winds and things get a little hectic. So not the best wind to start off with. And that's for two reasons. First being the direction, right? Obviously a headwind's not the best start, but the fact that it's coming left to right poses an issue to this pin because everything slopes left to right. So when we're thinking about how we're going to play it, we need to aim where we normally would, which is about right here, and then I need to give it about 4 yards. Why am I giving it an extra 4 yards? I'm going to go probably about 6 actually. So I'm giving it an extra 6 yards because it's going to have side spin, right? So it's going to land and it's going to shoot off to the right. It's going to use the slope and the wind. It's going to increase. That's how I normally play it. I'm going to play this a little bit differently just because I like the number I have for topspin. Okay, it's going to play probably about 104. So 104, I'm going to give it just slightly less for topspin here. And then we're just going to play it. I'm going to play it probably more for like 105. Well, that misting wasn't good, but we should get away with it. A little bit of side spin towards the hole here. Didn't get as much as maybe say I ding that. I probably get a lot more side spin there. Not a whole lot to that putt. We're just going to ram it in here. Okay. Top spin shots like that are really good in the winds such as that, and especially holes that are receptive to backspin. Anytime you can control the backspin, that's only going to work in your favor. Alright, we see a headwind here. We've got a ton of room out to the left. I mean, a ton. This pool's probably going to be okay. That's borderline, but lots of room. Last thing we want to do is miss that right, hanging out and go in the fescue. So always try to play the fat part. Or, you know, basically we're trying to be defensive on our drives. Always want to be in the fairway, first and foremost. So this is obviously going to move right pretty good. I'm guessing somewhere in the area of about 27 is what I'm going to play. I'm going to play it's about 138. So 138 is our target number here. Missing right's not going to kill me. It's not great, but it's not going to kill me. We threw it past a little bit. Now I'll talk about why. So I didn't, lower winds or something like that, I'll try to land it here and trickle it down. If you ever watch my rounds, I usually land it here and trickle it down. But heavy winds, heavy wind 13 greens, it's just, I'm perfectly fine going past the pin a little bit and hopefully making this putt. Although I didn't give myself the best putt. It's not exactly the greatest line in the world, but it's makeable. See, we're seeing two different lines. Like right here, we're seeing not as much break, and we're even seeing the dots going this way. If we look at this guy right here, he's going that way. When we switch it to this view, we get a little more consistency. This guy's maybe trickling a little bit that way now, but it's almost stagnant. It's pretty much not moving. All right, so if I'm thinking about this line right here, these guys aren't going to do anything really. First three grids are barely going to move this putt. Then we're going to see a little bit, but again, very little movement. All the movement's going to come at the very end on this putt, right? So that's kind of how we want to look at it. So I think I'm just going to line it up, just kind of keeping that in mind. That's going to move me over just a little bit, maybe like right here. So I think that's probably going to be the number. We're not getting that hard break there, so we're just a little off. I'm gonna misting this. Yeah, so not that pushing that iron kind of cost me. Had I dinged that, I still go past obviously, but it's a much easier putt if I can get kind of pin high and behind the pin. It was more the angle that made that putt difficult. Not necessarily the length. We got another nice little headwind here. Let's see. I've got to be careful about side spins. It's a really bad wind. Just because we have this ridge right here, and if we hit here, we go down the ridge, we get a really tough putt. Most likely we're going to end up somewhere over here, just because that's probably how I'll play it. I'm going to lean a little towards the safer side. I don't really like how that's lined up. Let's bring that back in. See how I'm only aimed 33 yards? I think I'm just going to move this with my hand in reverse or forward view here with my hand. I'm going to physically move it. I'm going to reach through the screen and move it. Okay, I'm going to go, let's see that 18? I kind of can. This might be a little too much, I don't know. Yeah, it's right there where I said I'd probably end up. That's not an attack wind right there. You know, certain winds we go right at it. There's certain winds we got to pick a safe side, and that's more where we gravitate to. Kind of same thing again. I just carried it a little too far. If I'm right here, it's dead straight. Literally doesn't move. Here we get this nice little slide. Let's go. Still just don't think it's going to break a ton, you know? Thinking right there, maybe? Let's go with it. Let's go with it and see. No, that was just an immense amount of break right there. Let's see if we miss that. Gosh, that was probably at least a half a grid. At least a half a grid. Alright, not the best start. Not off to the best start. Haven't had the best wins either. Okay, how do we want to play this? I like the wind. I don't like necessarily that it's a headwind or that we haven't had tailwind yet, but I like that. I like the direction of it because now it brings open a few different options here. I'm going to fling this thing way out to the left. And there should be a slope I can use to bring it back to the pin. So we're going to try to go a little left of the pin here. That's fine. Stay with me. Don't give up on me yet. We should get a big kick. Oh, or not. Damn it, I just missed it. We can still miss thing that and kick straight to the hole. It just didn't happen there. I hit it a little too far is why. If I hit that a little bit shorter, it probably ends up pretty nice, despite the misting. Alright, I'm thinking it's obviously going to break a decent amount. Kind of like right there. Although in this view it looks terrible. In this view it probably doesn't go either. It's probably a little bit too aggressive. Yeah, let's say that's too much. Let's look at other options here. Let's see, maybe there. Let's take a peek at that. I can see that going in. Okay. All right, we're gonna get good wins the rest of the round, right? Hey. Yeah, let's just go with neutral. I was kind of debating if I wanted to maybe put like a hint of back on it, but I feel like I'm gonna get a good kick here. I'm gonna get a good kick. It's all luck, but I figured it was worth it. See if I could get the kick.
That's a huge drive.
Oh boy. Okay. This is a very safe play. This might go way past the pin, honestly. But if it does, it does. We'll take our long putt and move on. But it could also work out to be quite nice. But the biggest thing I want to make sure is that I clear the hill. If I catch the downslope, I catch the downslope. Just like that. But I don't want to end up short of that slope. I just don't like that putt at all. I'll take this putt all day long over that putt. Even though the other putt's shorter, it's it's probably 10 grids of break. That's fine. We'll take this one. Notice we've got the headwind in our face. Headwind of this size from this distance, we're going to have to add about 2% to our putt. So normally I would hit this about 39, 40. So I'm probably going to hit this about 42%. So we see it breaking right, left. It's kind of doing a whole lot. I'd say probably right there, maybe. See if I like that line. I kind of do. It might be a little too much, but that's okay. Like I said, we're going to hit about 42% because of the headwind. That misting was terrible. Oh my goodness. I bet that was the line. Speed was perfect. That might have had a good shot going in. Alright, another good wind. Do I play it the same way? Nah, we'll put a little bit of backspin on it. Just because there's a hill I don't want to hit. If I hit the hill, it's going to kill the distance. That should just carry the hill. There it is. Just carry it and cut the backside of it.
That's a huge drive.
It's amazing how different this hole plays with a good wind. So I thought about hitting a punch, and I literally just changed my mind. I just had a different shot pop up. So my fear with the punch is that it lands short and takes a really nasty hop that I don't want it to take. So I think what's best is to go full backspin. Let's go full backspin. Let's see where we're going to hit it. I only want to land this like 40. So let's go right here. Oh no. Okay, well, you know what? I screwed the pooch on that. I should have hit 77%, not 87. Oops. Boom. Good number if I was punching it though. So that plan backfired. But the putt's really quite makeable. It's really not doing a whole lot. But it's that same type of deal where I have this 25 mile an hour wind, so I need to account for it by giving it just a little extra, right? So I feel like it's going to break here, but I could also see it breaking right there too. Trying to think about this putt over the long haul. Yeah, just I don't know. It looks really good in this view. I think it drops in this view, but when we're looking at it from this perspective, it's gonna miss. I think it definitely misses. Let's take a look at it again. I gotta go with it though. It looks too good from the other view. So I'm gonna hit this a little bit firmer. Just hit it a little bit firmer. Oh boy, it was a little bit more break. Not quite half a grid though. All right, man, we botched that one. That's an instant birdie right there. It should be anyway. We've got a good wind here, but we don't quite have a good enough wind. Right, like it's decent, but it's not quite good enough. So the biggest thing we want to do is avoid going in that bunker. This should land short of the big bunker and then skip in and go up. Okay, the fairway bunker that is. We got a good number in, gotta watch backspin though. I normally do not put backspin on these wedges. Very, very rarely. And this is one of those very, very rarely. That's okay. I felt like I overplayed the wind anyway. But apparently I didn't. So you gotta be just a little bit of backspin with these wedges goes a long way. Okay. I think I'm gonna ram it. Oh, we gotta pay the piper now. 3 straight tailwinds. We were due. We were due. It's just a really, really bad wind. It's a terrible wind to have here. I'm gonna try to overplay it to the left, and I'm gonna hit this thing just ridiculously firm. There's nothing wrong with being long here. Short is my dead spot, not long. Long will just hit and stop. That distance was excellent though. It's a pretty good distance. Although not what I was going for. Plan was to land it. Let's see. I was okay landing it somewhere back here because the putt is extremely easy. Now 5 under. Let's hope we get a nice tailwind here, so I can at least potentially get to 7 despite my screw up, despite my miss hit there. But in my defense, it's pretty damn late. All right, I took an extremely aggressive line. Looks like a little too aggressive. No, maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. Yeah, just a little bit.
That's a huge drive.
Was really trying to go right at the pin. But it is a very easy pitch. Extremely easy. The only thing that makes this pitch difficult is the wind. Just wasn't sure how much the wind was going to turn it from 8, you know? That's what got me. I can't say I hit a ton of pitches into 25 mile an hour side winds. I'd say low winds, very good shot we make that. Oh well. It's not the worst front nine. Should have been a 29. Really should have been. I don't know. Maybe we'll reach the green here. I'm not gonna put a whole lot of. So here, let me walk through. Here's my goal. I just need to carry this, right? If I carry this, we're fine. So it's only what 296 to carry that. It's not really that bad into that kind of a wind. I don't see where the hell the pin's at. I think that's okay. So we're just going to put just ever so slight amount of backspin just to really make sure we carry that hill. Because it tends to play a little longer than it says to carry that hill. See, we carried it and we are just off to the races. It's not necessarily a good tee shot. I took a little too good of a bounce. It was a little too good. Yeah, we hit the 400-yard mark. I'm all for good bounces, but that was just a little too good. Same thing, we're hitting into a headwind, so we're going to add, I'm probably going to add 3 from this distance. I'm going to hit this about 73%, where I'd normally hit at 70. I'm not seeing a whole lot in this putt actually, which is kind of exciting. We might be able to drop this. Just not seeing much to it. I think the end it's going to break back, so kind of counting on that anyway. Should have added a lot more to that. Ooh. That wind really held that up. Well, we got a putt we got to make now. Makes me regret that wind. I'm regretting that wind officially now. But I still don't think it's going to do a whole heck of a lot. I think right there is probably pretty good and hit it, 50% or so, maybe a little bit more. Let's go 52 because of the wind. Okay. I think most people would be upset with this win. They would want a tailwind here. Me, I'll take it. I think it's a great win to have here. It's absolutely great. I love it. Gave myself room to do something silly like that, so it should be a pretty decent shot. If I miss out to the right, the putt's not too bad. So pool was what I was worried about, so I played for it. Now that's not to say I hit a pool on purpose, because I did not. I was fully intending on hitting the ding. But I'm not one of those guys who just comes out and dings every single shot he hits. I have my days where I do. Most of the time I'm not going to. That's fine. I missed ding that one on purpose. I actually meant to miss ding it a lot more than that. Let's see. It's not a bad distance. My only concern is backspin here. Backspin is my concern. And I don't like this angle. This is a funky angle and it's hard to aim because of that. Right? So I can't hardly aim in this view because I can't get enough movement. So then it becomes a little bit difficult to aim. Let's see. See what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty damn tricky to aim this. Alright, baby. If I go right of the pin, that is okay. It's okay in my book. Little long should spin back to the pin. Oh, we went right around it, didn't we? That's okay. That is not a bad putt at all. I'll just say this. I would rather be 7 feet away in here than 4 feet away in here. Such a sucker for going for this too. It's like I can't say no to it. Draws me in. That should be good. That was a purposeful pull there. Now comes the hard part. We got to put spin on this. Do I put full backspin and really try to throttle it? I think if I go full backspin, this thing just releases forever. Or not releases, spins back forever. So I got to be careful about that. But we definitely have to add some amount of backspin here. I don't like where that's aimed up either. Let's go right there. I think that's probably a little too safe, but that's okay. I don't think I played enough, did I? Enough distance. No, I didn't. I only gave it like 2.5. That's probably like 5 all day. Probably one I want to ram, actually. I kind of like the idea of hitting this somewhat firm. You know what I mean? Like right here. It's definitely going to break. That's probably a little too much. Yeah. Let's just play it at speed. Let's play it at speed. I'm torn. No, I'm going back to ramming it. Yeah. Now, is that really downhill too? So that's my problem, right? Like here it's downhill 2. And then here it's only downhill 1. So the So what do you trust in that situation? That just feels like a ton. I think we played downhill 1. I think downhill 1's probably the way to go. We play it like right there. I don't. Why am I spending so much time over this stupid putt? Because it's hard, that's why. And that's where a ram blows up in your face. It just didn't look right. The whole putt didn't look right, didn't feel right. But that's one I probably should just step up and hit, and I probably make 9 times out of 10 if I don't think. I just completely whiffed on that one. I know where I should have aimed though. Bummer. Speaking of bummer, this wind's a bummer. This thing was a bummer. Not that it matters. Not that it really changes our play if I ding it. You gotta take the long way home. That's probably, for me personally, that is the scariest shot in the game. Because that OB, when you start getting down as it narrows in, that OB is tight. Let's see. Oof, that was way short. What did I have? 150, 30, half. So it probably ended up playing all of 180. I played at 170, 174, 175. Still came up 4 yards short, so yeah, probably 180. All right. Nope, I whiffed on that. Something fierce. I played it all wrong too. Oh boy, we don't need a backside collapse here. 4 holes left. We can still pull out to what, 59? Not good. Now stop.
That's a
Okay.
huge drive.
Let's see if I learn from the whole where I hit this almost same shot. Really, except this time I'm hitting 86 yards. So I think I'm gonna go full backspin here. I think I'm gonna go full back. Yeah, let's do that. We really have to juice it. That's a good shot. A little out to the left, but I'm comfortable with that putt. I've had that putt enough to be pretty comfortable there. Man, giving up so many birdies. So many birdies I should have made. Ooh. This was my first 400-yard drive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stay away from that bunker. It's like it's targeting it. Beep 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 beep. All right. About 45 yards or so. Let's see. 45. Let's see. 29. Like right there. It's gonna have to turn. I don't like how that looked. Damn it. I don't like the angle. I just don't like the way this is aimed. But there's nothing I can do about it now. I mean, I could move it, but That's entirely too much work. We'll just go with it. I don't know. I got nothing there. I got nothing. I need a good kick here. Okay. That's very... it's better than 50-50. I would say 80-20 that you kick out of that. But in order to maximize distance, I felt like that was a good play. Ooh, gosh. This sucks. December. That was a pretty clutch ding right there. Distance should be really good. Yeah. It was just one of those where it worked out where the distance was perfect. I just needed to hit the ding and get out of the way. Whew, I am getting tired. So tired. Tailwind. Okay, good. How do we want to play this? Hopefully we don't hit it 400 yards on the back of the green. That would suck. I think we played it the same way we played the other shot earlier. We did hit a 400 yard drive. We just want to catch the top of the hill and kick it off and watch it go. I just got a bad hop. That's okay. It's a makeable pitch. It's going to be a makeable pitch. Don't you stay on the green.
That's a huge drive.
Okay. I think we got to be aggressive with it. It's going to move it a little bit, but not a ton. Let's go right at it. Oh, Jesus. I guess I kind of took a little bit off. Thought I was going to get a firmer bounce there. All things considered, 14 under. It's not bad. Considering I had the miss club on one of those holes. I think, was it 12, 13, something like that? Maybe it was the front. Oh, it was number 6. That's what it was. So 6, we had the miss club. That should have been a birdie. So we should have probably shot 57. Let's see, 2, 3. I put on 3 was a crap ton of break. I remember that. 13, what do we do? I don't know. And then 14. Yeah, I guess I probably should hit that a little tighter. But approaching was 13.4. Not good. But overall, heavy winds, you know. Expectations. That's all it is, expectations. Hope you enjoyed it.